Hi, it's me again, and I'm playing with pipe tobacco. So if you have a problem with pipe tobacco, I should probably just not show it in this video. Yeah. Anyway, this is going to be a vlog update. Well, I don't want to move my camera because I really don't have on a shirt. The only thing you really need to see is my big bouncing head. But I don't want to move my camera, so I'm not. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick vlog video to just summarize what's been going on. Stress has been going on. I've been so stressed that I've just wanted to stay to myself. I don't want to be around people. I don't want to talk. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to have to make any phone calls. I don't want to have to go on interviews. I don't want to have to do anything. So if it's not 197% mandatory, I genuinely don't want to do it. But does that mean I get to not do things? If only. I've been going to interviews, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, I've been doing what I can. I work behind the scenes because it's what I'm used to. I'm used to not doing things publicly because it always got negative attention from you know who, and then you know who would attempt to sabotage everything. Same way it always goes. If you know my family past, then you know why I do what I do. Many people don't respect my decisions of trying to get dad out of mom's house, trying to get dad from here to there, trying to get a car, trying to not live in poverty. I'm sorry if some people have accepted taking the bus and living in poverty and being housed in places that are pretty awful. I'm sorry that if you watch my videos and you hear or see something that you don't like that I've said, if you feel that you can do a better job than me, please, by all means, take over. I would love if someone came in, went after Rosalind for the $5,000 or whatever she took from Dad's account. I would love it if someone came in and sat this attorney slash guardian person down and said, listen, this man's son is the only person that's here. He's the only person that's physically capable to do stuff, regardless of where you move him, regardless of what you do with him. His son should be involved. His son should be one of the front-running people to deal with all of this, because at the end of the day, they both share the same name. And at the end of the day, it was always the son who was wronged by the parents. Mom did this, dad did that. You can hear the stories till whenever. From my aunt, from all sorts of family members, from my brother, from myself, from anyone who knows anything about the past. It's the past. Let's do something about the here and now. He's in this place that smells like pee. He's in a little room in the back for the most part. He lays there pretty much like he did at Rosslin's. He's not mentally stimulated. He has no books, no crossword puzzles, no nothing. He has a small TV, which the Guardian says she'll replace. Um, for the most part, Rosalind is still in ahead of everything. There have been no attempts, no further attempts to get her out of power, to my knowledge. Carmen says she's going to call the attorney slash guardian by the end of this week to try to do something to get, she said, and she's even being more bold with her statement. She says if anyone deserves to inherit anything of my father's, it should be me, which in theory is correct, because Lord knows I am tired of living in poverty. I am 30 years old. We have never known a real motor vehicle within this family. We have never really experienced so many things that people take for granted daily, like driving on the freeway without having to be in the passenger seat. Most of my family here in Ohio knows nothing of just being behind the wheel and going for a very long drive wherever you want and just doing whatever you want to do, because we've never really had cars. For the most part, it's just mom, dad, brother, me. Everyone else is located elsewhere. We don't see these people very often. We don't talk to these people very often. And it's like everyone in the family is so out of tune with what needs to be done. It is just tiresome. Me, I'm going bald from it. I am so very tired that usually the stress, the level of stress and what I have to deal with. It's starting to get back to where it was when I was at Roslyn's, and it's starting to make me sick. Where I just physically, my stomach just feels like it's gonna blow. Like I have like a million and one ulcers in my stomach, and I'm just waiting to die like everyone else that is old. Sorry, psychological term. But I'm just tired. If it is seen that I'm sitting around slacking off, whatever. You see that I upload videos from my room, and you think that, oh, okay, he's got the internet, he's not letting me use it. Whatever gripe that you may have with me, part of me just wants to say, can it wait for like 2 weeks till I have to actually, until I just feel like thinking about it? Can it just wait till like I see a green check on here from my schooling saying that they finally pushed the paperwork through and I can finally have some sort of, I can finish what I need to do. It's like everyone expects something of me. Why? And if you expect something of me, why can't I expect something of you? It's just like, okay, I'm expected to do this, or I'm expected to do this. I'm expected. Oh, you're supposed to be nice and civil and talk to people and do this and do that. But when other people don't follow these same rules, it's fine. But if I don't follow those rules to the T at every given point in time, it's a problem. And this was like, hold up. When did I sign up to be Mr. Responsible and everybody's responsible guy? And the landlord's like, "Oh, I love you. I don't know what I don't know. You have to work that out with clerks. I hope you get it resolved because I don't want to lose you as a tenant. You'll never find it rent with including this and that." It's like, dude, really? I didn't call you about that. I called you to make sure that you know what's going on because at the end of the day, this is your place. This isn't my place. I don't own this. I mean, I just pay rent here. But at the end of the day, I try to be as civil of a person as I can, even when I don't want to be, because most of the things that I have to deal with, like that, I just don't want to deal with it. And it's just like everyone is expecting stuff of me. I'm just expected to, like, be this super nice guy who lets people do stuff. And no, I'm a person that says, look, do what you need to do and let me be. That's just how it is. It's like, okay, you got your stuff that you need to do. I got my stuff that I need to do. And I don't see anybody stepping up to the plate to handle any of this family stuff. And from what I hear, this is directed at you, brother. You would have just said fuck all of it. So I mean, if that's how you feel about it, that's fine. I don't have that option because at the end of the day, I don't feel the same. I don't care. Or I don't want to know, or I'm not curious that you have. If you're not curious enough to get back in school, if you're not curious enough to do this, if you're not curious enough to do that, that's your fucking. It's just, see, that's my thing. I have a problem. I just want to tell people exactly what the fuck it is, and that's that. My brain tells me if you have a problem with not wanting to do this, you don't want to do that, you don't want to do whatever, that's on you. That's your choice. At the end of the day, you're the one that has to live with the consequences of the decisions based on that action. If you like, let's say you go over here, you do this for this girl, and then next thing you know, this girl turns around and gives you some sort of STD. That's something that you chose to do. That's something that you have to live with. I don't got to live with that choice. The choice doesn't affect me. I mean, sure, it may make you more of an unpleasant person to be around, but at the end of the day, that choice has nothing to do with me, and there's nothing that I could do to stop you from doing that, especially if I didn't know about it. I'm just trying to prove a point. It's just like at the end of the day, we all have to choose what we have to do. I choose to at least care a little bit enough to know about where I came from and all these people that have the same last name as me. I don't know these people. I'm 30 years old. I have no idea who the majority of people are. And I ask myself, if there are others around that are like me, or others that are around that have my last name, or others that are around that aren't like Rosalind, Maybe I should give those people a chance. Because I don't know all these people. I think I've seen so many pictures in these photo books that our aunt has. I don't know these people, and they're all smiling. I don't even remember the last time I seen Rosalind with a genuine smile that wasn't trumped up BS. I don't even remember the last time I smiled myself. And it's just like at the end of the day, I'm tired of being depressed and in this life and with like be just being bored and no real direction or goal set. It's like at the end of the day, all I used to do was go to school, do work, come home, deal with that, sleep, rinse, repeat. I'm sorry, but now even that's boring. It's just like even it's like most of the thoughts of these things they're just boring to me. It's just like okay, I'm busting my butt for what? We don't have a car, we don't have a place, we don't have this, we don't have that. Why don't we have these things? Why don't we have a car? Why don't we have a house? Why don't we have a stove? Why don't we why have all these things been kept from us for the majority of our lives? How come the only time we've had these things is when we've been in the company of other people? Why don't we have our own stuff? How do we get our own stuff? That's what I've been asking. And it seems like our parents just wanted to live poverty-ish lives. My dad was never really broke. I don't know what to say about mom. It's just like they chose these lives. They chose not to communicate. They chose to live below what they could actually achieve if they even just put forth this much effort. And at the end of the day, I ask myself, do I want to be like that? No. But in the same sense, I'm sitting here now and I'm asking myself, don't I need a break from the whole Rosalind fiasco, going to court, doing this, trying to figure out how I'm gonna get to take my dad on a day trip, this and that, having to ask people for their approval and permission for stuff that I should not have to ask for approval for because hello, I'm his son, and the only person in here that has a driver's license gonna take him somewhere is me. Unless it's some people just magically appeared I don't know about. I've looked at the probate court site. There has been no activity since 8/7. It's been over a month. And it's just like, okay, we have had no closure. I want closure with the Roslyn subject. I want real closure. As in, we know that she is not going to get anything when he dies, and we can provide him with stuff now while he's here. And when he dies, or if whichever, when he die, if he dies first, or if he gets to like a place where we can actually do stuff for him, we will have the ability to provide for him with his own money. We we should not have to go into our pockets for him when he's always been the person who wanted to provide for himself. Some of us can't go into our pockets for him, or otherwise we would. Some of us do go into our pockets for him, even though we don't have anything to go in our pockets for. The fact that we took stuff up there to him and we are struggling here, and I mean struggling, but nobody wants to understand that. It's like okay, just because we try not to hold ourselves in this downward slump of always having our heads down and just moving about like minions, and we're seen as okay, you got stuff, so you're sitting there. No, we are struggling just like all the rest of you. Life's not easy. I'm always eating stuff that makes me sick. She's always stressed out and tired. It's not easy. People think that I'm just sitting around on my ass, like, yay, I'm getting free rent and board and do 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 do. This is the life. Yay, I'm living the black dream. No, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with this. I want better for people living if they don't want better for themselves. At the end of the day, I would love to see my brother just be the person that he could be. I'm not saying that the person that he is now is a bad person. I'm just saying that the person he is now could use a bit of work. I mean, we're supposed to be brothers, and I get that there's always been this rift between us due to the childhood and all the other stuff. But in the same sense, did I like do something wrong? Is it my fault that this happened? I'm a person that I stay to myself. I try to be as civil as I can, and I try to not bother people's stuff. If I bother something of yours, I either tell you about it, replace it, or something along those lines. I tend to be the person that replaces things before somebody knows that it was actually gone. Let's see, what have I done when I've been in this house so far? I borrowed some money, which was replaced before you even fully moved in, because I was here and I was here nightly, so I know you weren't here. But I replaced a little bit of money that I borrowed before you moved in. Um, I use your thingy in there, and that's it. I don't play Xbox. I don't really go in your room. I don't touch anything of yours. Okay, I borrow your iron sometimes randomly when I have to go to court or interview because I got my all my shit slung in there. I didn't do that. I got all my shit slung in there, and I'm clueless to where my iron is. Otherwise, I would have just used mine. I'm a person that I tend to stay to myself, and I tend to use my own resources. Let's see, and I tend to give back. I.e., for example, my relationship with Diz. The whole friendship of us being friends over the period of time, I have just randomly given him free stuff like the speaker, the hard drive, etc. I just like when someone does something for me over a period of time and they've been in my acquaintance and we've been cool and stuff like that. I think to myself, I'm in a position to help someone and I don't want anything in return. I just want to see that their lives made a little easier. So like like semester 2 or semester 3 or whenever the hell I did, his birthday rolled around, I asked him to tell me one thing not too retardedly expensive to get that would make life easier. I just sent him a random message that said, "You send me a link or email or something of one thing that you feel is necessary that will make life easier." He sent me a link for a speaker. He got that. He sent me a link for a hard drive. He got that. That's the kind of person I am. If you are the kind of person that you keep a good standing record or whatever with me, I will eventually repay anything that I feel owed. If you've done stuff for me, like if let's say you donate me food when I'm down and out, when the time comes around where I'm in a position to do that for you, you don't even have to ask because I'll probably end up doing it on my own. That's just kind of the person that I am. I don't want people to have to deal with any sort of extra nonsense when it can be avoided. But it's like everyone's forgotten about who I actually am because I don't say shit. And I may not look the same. But it's just like, okay, I'm getting older. I'm understanding more stuff as I go along. I'm understanding people's choices of why they do some of the idiotic things that they do. But in the same sense, if you can do something idiotic and be forgiven or respected or whatever the emotion may be for said idiotic action that you've taken, why am I not allowed that same respect? That's what I desire. If I go ahead and I do something stupid, or I suggest doing something stupid, I just go ahead and I do something really stupid and you've done something similar or the same or blah 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 blah. I expect the same respect that I've given you. I'm like, okay, you did something stupid, you fucked up, whatever, whatever, whatever. It's cool. Blah blah blah. Yak yak yak, move on. But it's just like some people, they get that respect and then they never return it. It's just like, yep, you thought you was getting that respect, you're not. Somebody send me a message so I have to see what it is. It's probably nothing. Yeah, but somebody's talking about Fight Club. I don't have the time, nor the money, nor the car to get to Fight Club. It's in Canton. So I can't win any of those tournaments. What do you do? But once again, sorry about the fact that I don't really have on a shirt. I've just been stressed out. I'm tired. I'm tired of having to deal with stuff. I don't want to hear any more about Rosalind. I'm tired of knowing that for the most part right now, currently, given everything that's happened, she is winning. She has not lost one bit of sleep over anything that's gone on. She's been allowed to be in that house by herself with the money she's taken, and she's just been living it up. I've lost plenty of nights of sleep over this. I've lost weeks of nights of sleep over this. I've lost hair on my head over this. I was I had a full head of hair before I started having to deal with all this stress and nonsense. Um, I don't want pity. I just want people to understand that I'm doing what I feel that needs to be done for myself. I'm trying to not only show family, the courts, and whoever else is watching that I was right all along, but that we deserve better on this end of the family. The people that are in Ohio that are related to this man, friends of this man, whatever, we deserve better. And the person that has been doing us wrong the entire time, as a person, is one that's been trying to control us and turn us against each other and get us to do this and get us to do that. And I mean, my brother was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go over there and try to get my social security card from him." Like, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But at the end of the day, it may cost you more than it's worth. So he got his social security card one way or the other, and now it's just like, okay, fuck you guys. He's pretty much, it seems like he's taking a page from her book. Because at the end of the day, it's like, you may want to downplay the fact that we've looked out for you, but we've looked out for you. If it weren't for us, I can't say me, I have to say us. If it weren't for us, you would have been outside in June, said the landlord himself. He said after June 18th, and you did not pay him, he was over here, dude was constantly bugging me and all this other dumbness that we've already discussed. You would not have the ability to take over his apartment now because he would have closed it down and you would not have this place to even live in. I did my best to try to uphold the order and talk to this man and get him to see that things were just going difficult and in a little bit of time things would be going fine. And now I get the whole you gotta get the hell out message, and it's like, really? At the end of the day, I haven't had a problem with paying my rent. I don't have any legal troubles, and I'm pretty sure the lawyer would say that's no unlawful eviction, given the fact that I'm a decent tenant. I don't do much. I don't bother anybody, and this and that. And if you don't want me to live here just because you don't like me or like the way that I appear, then it's kind of fucked up to say, but you should have thought about that more carefully before I moved in, because at the end of the day, I don't want it to be seen like it's disrespectful, but I pay my rent and I do what I need to do. I've been the one holding down the fort. When that man was ready to evict, it wasn't just your ass that was in the fire. But in the same sense, I don't get that same kind of generosity, because it's just like, okay, I'm here, I'm expected to do this, I'm expected to do that, but you're not expected to mention repaying money. You're not expected to just be like civil about little shit. It's just like, okay, I mean, I get that I walk out and I just cook and it gets unbearably hot in this fucker, but in the same sense, what am I supposed to do? Go hungry? There's like no ability for a stove in here. And he says if we get a stove or if he finds a hot plate, we're going to be in trouble now. Me personally, I would rather go below the radar. I don't want to be noticed for what I do, and I don't like when people are constantly keeping tabs on my movement. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to try and be out the way. So once again, I'm going to try to be out the way. I'm sure to all the wonderful people who are saddened by my actions, by my desire to get a car, by my desire to get some sort of closure for this dad situation, get some sort of closure on the whole family thing, to actually have some sort of knowledge and to see. I'm sorry that if you do not approve of my decisions to be quiet, stay to myself, try to fix the huge brokenness, broken rift, or whatever you want to call it, that has been created by the mamambo and the aftermath of school. I'm sorry if you do not like the fact that I'm still trying to proceed with my goals of getting a car, getting a house, and just having an actual family and people that actually just want to get along and have a decent life and not live like we're some sort of poor caveman or something, because our family has never been broke, is what I'm always hearing. No one in our family except for us is broke. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of being broke and tired of not being able to just have a normal life. It's like my mother and father didn't know how to give me a normal or decent life. And now that I'm old enough that I can do it for myself, why not do it? And if I can show my father that this is what you should have done back then, if I can show him and at least say, hey, it's done. It may have taken a super long time, but it's done. the whole Ross. It's like it seemed like this was a long time coming. It seems like family has to be split and divided before it can be built back up. And the person that split and divided the family was Rosalind, and now I'm the one who's trying desperately and diligently to try to piece it back together the best I can. I don't honestly want to move to New York for my own relevant reasons, such as I don't want to move to a new place sometimes because sometimes I just feel like the stress is just going to make me go boom. That's the honest to God truth. But in the same sense, I ask myself if we're allowed to move to a different place, such as New York, and do what we need to do and get him to where he needs to be and all this other wonderful stuff, then maybe it'll be less stress or worth the stress. I mean, I'm not really too bothered about learning roads and driving and stuff like that. If Cleveland's one big square, I'm assuming the suburbs of Poughkeepsie, New York isn't that bad. I mean, and from the Jersey Shores, it looked like it was pretty suburby country anyway. So I don't mind it. But it's just like there are always pros and cons to everything, and I'm the one who has to deal with them logically and rationally and ask myself, can you logically handle this task that you're about to take on? So it's like I had to logically ask myself if I could take on guardianship. No one thought I was thinking logically when I said, yeah, I could probably do this. But yeah, that's me. That's the end of my 26-minute stress talk. Again, if you are offended by anything that is said in my videos, I suggest you bring it to me. I'm a person, I'm human, I feel just like you. For the most part anyway. You can forget the teeth. But that's just it. I'm tired. I feel like I deserve a break. I feel like I deserve like 6 semesters of just me not having to deal with stuff. I would just love to just be able to get life on track, get him out of that nursing home, get him into a house or something, take him here, take him there, say, yo, this is what you've been missing out on the entire time. And just have some fun for a change. I don't care who comes along for the fun. It's just that life has been so stressful and we haven't had any sort of fun. And Lord knows how long. It's just like everybody's down and out and smoking and drinking and doing this to mask their feelings and doing that to mask this and doing this and that to hide from this and that. And it's just like, when are we going to stop hiding? When are we going to stand up and do something? Evicting people for really unrelevant reasons is not standing up and saying, hey, Roslyn, you know what? I don't like what you did to me when I was a kid because look at what I'm lacking now. If we all had cars and houses and stuff like that, and we all had money and stuff like that, the whole you getting mad at me over this and that would be nothing because I'd be like, fine, I can go move here, do this or do that, or blah 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 blah. But in the same sense, when a person isn't considering the fact that you don't really contribute much. I mean, if you want to cook food, buy some. I mean, you can't expect me to always give to you just like I don't expect you to always give to me. And you don't see me saying, yo, can I do this? Yo, can I do that? Yo, 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 yo. Because I know at the end of the day, you got responsibilities, at least some responsibility too. And it's just like at the end of the day, just because you see me sit here, you don't see me physically go to school because I'm having my issues with financial aid does not mean that I am not doing what needs to be done. I'm so tired of talking. I'm so tired of trying to get people to understand that life shouldn't be the way it is. And we have to do something about it. And attacking one another over frivolous shit is not going to get us to where we need to be. If you want to continue to live like this, you want to be 40, 45, 50, 55, still working jobs that aren't really worth much, not having this, not having that, trying to figure out how to do this, trying to figure out how to not get in trouble here. I'm sick of all the minor bullshit. I feel like we deserve better. It's not. I'm not saying I deserve better. We deserve better. Everyone that's here involved in these situations deserves better. It's not just about me. The end.